welcome to Geeks Unleashed, another week where we put a geek on the panel and we grill them and get them to talk nerdy to us. What's up? My name is Maude Garrett. I am Chief Bomb of Geek Bomb. On the panel today, I've got the lovely Ziana, aka Madeline Rose.
Hello.
And Boy Bomb, who's in his Spidey gear. We've got Nate coming in all the way from Brisbane.
Hello, everyone.
Looking top, Spidey. You had a big night last night, didn't you?
Me? Nah, I behaved last night.
Totally. I believe it too. And the beautiful, wonderful special guest that we have on for Geeks Unleashed, we are going to find out all about his extensive geek cred history, so many podcasts, so many geek media, and I think that I could even learn a lot about this as well. His name is Alex Albrecht. Am I even saying that right? Or is it Albrecht?
It's very close. It's Albrecht.
I said it right.
You did.
Albrecht.
Albrecht.
I just blame the Australian accent every
It's okay.
time.
Look, you said my name wrong too, and I've known you for like a year and a half, so it's okay. It's Madeline, not Madeline, but that's okay.
You know what? I struggle with Maude every day of my life, so everyone else can suffer this with me.
It's Maude.
It's Maude. Maude now. Maude. Anyway, this is where we chat all about you, Alex. So I do hope you've got your beer or your whiskey in hand because it's going to get personal. Sound good?
Yeah, I brought red wine. It was all.
I love red wine.
Yeah.
Nice. It's like a tumbler of red wine.
I know, it's baller red wine. Although I don't know why, but it doesn't seem to be ever taking my video. Does the Google people hate me?
Yeah, a little bit.
No, you're coming up. You just can't see it when you come up. Yeah,
first off, that's the creepiest thing ever. Because you want to know when you're on, because otherwise you're just like...
Yeah. I don't know if you've got another window clicked. Yeah, if you start talking, you've got the stage, basically.
I love it. Then in that case, I will not stop talking for the rest of the show.
Oh, good. That's what we needed. Well,
by the way, are these the dorkiest headsets that a guest has ever worn? Because these are my video game playing headsets, usually not actually pointed cameras at my face.
What are they? Because the sound quality is really, really good from your microphone, and I need a new headset.
You know what? When you're raiding at night, World of Warcraft.
I love World of Warcraft.
You need some headsets.
I'm the World of Warcraft addict of so happy.
She's doing her happy dance, you know.
Yeah.
That's
and by the way, I know that these are good headsets because I've literally sent them as gifts to friends that I play games with because I'm sick of hearing their horrible voices. I think they're called Triton, and I say that weirdly because it's two T's, I believe, so it's like Tritton, Triton. And I believe like Turtle Beach or somebody bought the company Triton, but that's them's the. I think these are Xbox 360 versions. The T, and it's two T's.
Yeah.
That's the surround headset. Oh, they have a pink version, Maude.
See? Look at this.
Are you already online? This is incredible. We'll have to get on. You know what? If I put them on right now, you won't even be able to see them.
I know. I was going to say, Triton needs to get me some 10% of whatever they sell based on this, because clearly there's going to be a rush on Triton headsets. Although they'll take it all back when they're like, you're not saying it right.
We'll just bill you. We'll order them and then we'll bill you for making us buy them.
Perfect. I'll be like, why did I order 7 pink Triton headsets?
It was necessary.
Well, we will be talking a lot more WoW in the quick future. Oh, I love that you've already sent me the link there, Maddie. To get things started, we like to play a quick game of fast quiz question. I'm making this up. Basically, what we do
that's a good title. That's a good segment title.
Quick fire questions. Quick fire questions.
Thank you, darlings. Quick fire questions where one person will ask another person on the panel a random question that comes into their head, which is kind of geek related. That person must answer the first thing that comes into their head, and so on and so forth. So I will show you how it goes. Alex, I'm directing my question to you. Are you ready?
I believe maybe.
A, do you own geek underwear? And B, how many pairs and what are they of?
I don't, but man, I really wish I did. Oh. And if I did, it would be Stormtrooper underwear. And yeah, because that just makes sense. And then maybe an AT-AT, just because why not?
Okay,
that'd be awesome.
with this whole I say 80-80.
Well, technically it is AT-AT. You know what I mean? Because isn't it like all-terrain attack truck? Tank? Transport. I knew. I got 3 out of 4.
I host a Star Wars podcast.
Oh, well, there you go. Well,
there's also something on my shoulder.
There it is. I took a quiz on Facebook about Star Wars, and I got 12 out of 15. So I'm just saying that.
Hey!
It was a popular quiz.
Okay, well, I actually liked Jar Jar Binks, so top that.
Okay.
I'm
trying to think if I have. Well, first off, nah, that's not geeky enough. Because this is like my office, so I got all my like old toys.
You got the Course of the Force T-shirt on.
And I'm wearing a Star Wars T-shirt right now with 2 lightsabers.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
I got Anakin in there.
Oh, it's a pop-up.
Pop-up book.
It's got 3 different sides. It's got the Sith on one side too.
I have.
To the dark side.
Yeah, I'm like, I was going to go try to get stuff, and then I was like, I don't know where any of that shit is, so I don't know if I can go.
I just want to keep it behind me, so it gives like a geek background, because that's the only geek stuff in the house.
Yeah, I like that you put up a stool and 1 toy on it.
Well, that's like just 2 ends.
I'm just going to casually put this stool and my Groot tree behind it.
Oh, Groot all the way.
Groot's awesome. Don't diss on Groot.
So, Alex, that was me asking you a question.
I love it.
Whatever random geeky question, and you can choose whether you want to talk it to Ziana or direct it to Nate.
I'm sorry, did you just say Ziana?
Ziana. That's me.
Yeah, Ziana.
But
Madeline / Ziana.
Oh, Madeline Slack, because I was like, it says Maddie there.
I'm just fucking with you, dude. I'm fucking
Ziana is like my alter ego.
Got it. Hey, I get that. I live in alter egos. I will say then to Ziana, because that's an amazing alter ego name.
Thank you.
Do you have any geek tattoos, and if so, where?
I only have 1 tattoo. I don't know if it's geeky. I can actually show it on the stream.
Whoa, what are you about to do?
Whoa, hey.
See it?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty good.
Ad Astra, it's Latin, and it means to the stars. And I got that for 3 different reasons. Number 1, I have a degree in ancient history, and I studied Latin as part of that. So I was like, oh yeah, I speak Latin. Jesus. I don't actually. Number 2, to the stars, as in like follow your dreams, whatever. And number 3, nice. I fucking love science fiction.
That's a win. Those are the 3 best reasons to have an Ad Astra tattoo.
Yeah. So it's like I'm a history geek and a sci-fi geek, so that works.
Perfect combo.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Ziana, your turn to direct a question.
Okay, so I'll ask Nate one then. If you could marry any Disney princess, who would it be and why?
Oh man. Oh, okay.
Please control your boner.
Oh no, I kind of felt like a question like this was going to be directed at me, so I've already duct taped it to the inside of my leg. Okay. I would have to say.
The stream's already gone downhill, Maude. I'm sorry.
So I'm wearing the same color as my hair.
So much duct tape. I'd probably have to say Princess Jasmine, probably, because when I was just because I'm a massive Aladdin fan, and when I was a young child, I actually was part of an Aladdin musical, and I was Aladdin, and I know all of the songs and all the lyrics.
Clearly typecast, by the way.
Yeah.
Arabian Prince.
Yeah. Blonde hair, green eyes, and not even white. I'm more transparent, if anything, really.
No, I feel you. Me and Maude are in the same boat.
Yeah, glowing.
You can almost see my skeleton through my eyes.
Last question, Nate.
Okay, so Borderlands. Yes, I called you by your real name. So, what is the most expensive geeky thing you have?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Apart from like an Xbox One, I get all. I get.
Maddie's just like, yuck. Oh, nice.
Collectibles.
I'm sorry, was that from Watch Dogs?
Yeah. Aiden Pierce.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's one there. And then I've got Connor over by that wall.
You can't really see it on mine, but like I have my tower of geek stuff. I've got my Halo Reach, I've got Connor, I've got my Modern Warfare 2 night vision goggles.
Ah, yes.
I have Ezio, Groot, Sasuke. I've got a couple of them floating around there.
Yes, that's the thing about geek stuff. It's like we don't like to send each other broke. So no one's really going to put out a really incredibly expensive item. It's more about mass. I think we have quality and quantity. Yeah. I mean,
it's more
my favorite
of a board than it is a item-to-item cost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So all of my hoard is not here. A lot of it's back home. I think my favorite things are, my posters, my T-shirt collections, my lightsaber collection at home. I love encyclopedias.
I'm gonna break into
encyclopedias. Oh yeah, you live.
You know they fit on compact discs now. Just FYI.
What is this new fandangled device you speak of?
I like to turn a page. All right, well, I hope you guys have got to know us. We'd love to get to know you. As you can see when you're watching this, there is a comment box below, so make sure you keep us posted with your train of thoughts. If you've got any questions directed at anyone on this panel, especially Alex, please write them because we will be directing them and going to them throughout the course of this chat. Let's get down to business, Alex. Spotlight's on you. Business is business. Time. I want to know, where did it all begin? Like, honestly, how did this start? Was it I've got to go to uni, or I'm just playing this by ear, or you fell into it? How did it all begin?
Well, first off, it's not called uni here; it's called college.
Sorry, Jesus.
Aluminium. What are you going to do about it?
I went to aluminium college. No.
Nice. Sounds
no, yeah,
prestigious.
I was. It is. It's not really that strong though. So I went to. I just was a computer nut growing up. Loved video games and the like. And then went to college for computer science, as one does when they're a computer person and going to college. Yeah. And then I fell into improv comedy. So I found this improv comedy troupe, fell in love with it. Started doing improv comedy all through college, toured around, that kind of stuff. And then I was actually born in LA, went to college moved to Virginia, grew up in Virginia, because my dad was sort of in space stuff. And then I went to college in DC, and then I was working out here at the RAND Corporation, which is a nonprofit research think tank thing in Santa Monica. Oh. And I just I hated it. I mean, I liked the concept of it, but I hated having a 9-to-5 job. Like, I'm just not that person. And I had a great office. It had an ocean view. My first office had an ocean view. Fantastic. Santa Monica Pier, ocean view. I was like, this is great.
Jesus.
But then again, I had to be in the office every day, and I was like, I don't like that. I mean, the sun's nice for 10 minutes, and then I kind of stopped looking at it, and I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. So I quit my job and started acting, did a string of Dell commercials and a couple other things here and there to pay the rent. And then I actually was a huge fan of Tech TV. I don't know if you guys are even old enough to remember Tech TV, you young kids, you.
I'm the oldest as well. Yeah. These guys, and I'm still 10 years younger.
What? Horrible. That's guest shaming. Anywho, so I used to watch Tech TV, and it was up in based up in San Francisco. San Francisco. I loved the screensavers, and I was always like, God, I should host one of these shows. Like, I have an improv comedy background and a computer science degree. The only job that is available to me that is perfect is hosting a live tech show. And I mean, it was as weird as you've heard the stories. I was at a wedding of a friend of mine. It wasn't even a friend of mine. It was my girlfriend at the time / now wife. Her friend from college was at this wedding, and they were going around, and I had met her a bunch, and they were going around and doing one thing you don't know about the bridal party. And she said, I am the executive producer, or I'm the producer of the Man Show for Geeks. And as soon as she said that, I was like, I probably watched the show. Yeah, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And she said, yeah, I am one of the producers on, I think at the time it was Unscrewed with Martin Sargent. And I was like, oh my God, this is on Tech TV. I love Tech TV. Like, I watch Tech TV all the time. And I go, I've always wanted to be on a Tech TV show, a computer science improv thing. This would be a marriage made in nerd heaven. But I'm not going to move to San Francisco because I'm an actor and I'm here in LA. It feels weird. Like that would be leaving my career, not chasing my career. You know what I mean? And she goes, well, that's funny. We just got bought by Comcast and we're moving everybody down from San Francisco to Los Angeles. And one of the hosts of the Screensavers, which now is called Attack of the Show, or was called Attack of the Show, isn't coming down, and they're currently casting the new person. And she was like, you'd be perfect. You should come in. And I was like, I'd be perfect. I should come in.
I am perfect for this role.
I know. I was like, you do not need to continue casting for this part. And so I went in. And, of course, I was a huge fan of the Screensavers, so I knew Kevin Rose, who was the current co-host. I was like, I'd been watching him for years, and Joshua Brentano and Martin Sargent, who I'd been watching for years. And so I got this call, like I was emailing with this woman, like, please don't drop the ball on this. Like, I'm serious. I really want to do this. And my first audition was literally going into the studio. I mean, it was so clearly they were not from Los Angeles, right? Mm-hmm. Anybody that's an actor in Los Angeles knows your first audition is not with the executive producer, the star of the show, and the other producer. I mean, it's like the head writers. Like, that's not a first audition. So I walked in, and literally my first audition was I walked straight onto the set, and they were like, Alex, this is Kevin. Kevin, this is Alex. And he was like, hey, how are you? And they were like, okay, so we're going to ask you some questions and just pretend like you're hosting this live television show. And I was like, okay. And so I did. And by the way, I'd never really hosted anything before, so I was like, I don't really know what they want from me, so I just was wacky. But because of computer science stuff, I knew what I was talking about. And the best – so I did that. It was good. I got to, like, the callback. And the callback, which was so funny, is I had to – There was one guy that worked there that they considered a space nerd, like a space guy, like a NASA guy. And so I was to go and interview him as somebody who works at NASA. Now, I grew up around NASA. My dad actually ran the National Space Program for a couple years and launched satellites for a living. Wow. So like for me, it was like NASA. I was like, that's not that. I grew up around that stuff. So I went in and interviewed the guy who was just one of the kids. I mean, he turns out to be a good friend of mine, David Prager, but he was like a NASA guy. So I interviewed him like a guy who knew everything about NASA just because I grew up with it. And then the other guy, Robert Heron, who's like the smartest guy you'd ever meet, I was supposed to talk to him about a new graphics cards, like the new NVIDIA cards, and all this stuff was made up. Well, and I've never told anybody this, but I did not prepare at all for that. So right before I went to the thing, I was like, I should probably search like the internet to see what the hell is going on with this new graphics card because I don't know dick squat about it. So I searched online, and they had just literally that morning announced a new version of the graphics card, right?
Oh my gosh.
So I go in there thinking, I'm hot shit. This is going to be awesome. It's like the 780 just got announced this morning. I'm so excited. And I read all the specs, and of course I read way many. I mean, I was like, how many fucking heat pipes were going over the GPU process? I mean, it was like I knew everything. So I go in, I sit down, and I was like, hey, it's so nice to meet you. I'm super excited about your new graphics card because he was pretending to be somebody from NVIDIA or whatever.
Right.
And I go, so you must be really excited about the 780, and that it's new, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, well, the 770 is really blah, blah, blah. And he corrected me twice. Down. But he corrected me incorrectly, right? So he basically was like, well, the 770 is our high-end thing. And I was like, but I just read this morning. In my brain, I'm going, I just read this morning with the 780. And then after he did it the second time, I was like, I don't give a shit if I'm right or not. I'm interviewing this poor guy, and he's fucking wrong. So I just started saying the 770. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not an idiot. And I get the job, and I find out later he came up to me and was like, I just have to say, I thought I knew everything about the graphics cards when I went in and did this like fake interview with you. He was like, I went back and sat down at my desk and I was like, why did he keep saying the 780? And he said, I looked it up, saw that you were actually more right than me, who's pretending to be a guy at NVIDIA. And he said, I literally got up from my desk, I walked into the executive producer's office and go, he knew more about this graphics card than I did. You need to hire this guy.
And you didn't even do research.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, I did, but it was the morning of, which I shouldn't have done. I should have been researching for a day, but whatever. So anyway, I started doing that. I actually ended up only hosting that show for like 2 months, and then the ban hammer came down at G4 Tech TV, which of course, again, you guys are probably too young to remember, but it was a big shakeup where they fired half the people that they had brought down from San Francisco. They took the name, it used to be G4 Tech TV, they cut the Tech TV stuff off, and we're just sort of like, we're keeping your eyeballs, and like a handful of people. And I was one of the people that they fired. Now, I was in LA, so I was like, I don't give a shit. I just had a job for 3 months. That's fun. You know what I mean? And so my buddy Kevin, a guy named Kevin Rose, who was my co-host at the time, while I was there, created Digg.com, Digg.com, the sort of big social networking or social media thing, social news thing. And then, like 6 months after it was Attack of the Show and they were doing some stuff, he left to do Digg full time. And then he called me in August of that year, I think August 2005, and or June, and basically said, hey, there's this thing called podcasting, and iTunes is going to bake it into its iTunes music store. We should do a podcast. And I was like, we should do a podcast. And then 2 days later, we shot the first episode of Digg Nation, which we then did for 7 years. So, and then the rest that was it. It was off to the races.
And this is part of the Totally Rad Show, right? Because that went for 5 years, from 2007 to 2012.
Yeah, so yeah. So I was doing Digg Nation. It was early days. I mean, it was like we were one of the first video podcasts ever. There was like 7 of us or something like that. So we were always like, whenever they would announce like an iPod with video, because before they didn't have video, it was like they would show a podcast, and it was like it was either us or Tiki Bar TV or Ask a Ninja or something. So we were early, so we became very successful. And then through my connection with Revision 3, because I knew them, all the like 4 guys that started that company, and Digg Nation became part of Revision 3, I was able to sort of just start shows. And so I had a show called Control Alt Chicken, which was a cooking show.
Yeah, favorite show.
Yeah, it was super fun, and I still to this day love that show. But we did that for a while, and then I met Dan Trachtenberg, one of the guys from the Totally Rad Show, just simply because he was a fan. He was a commercial director. He was like, I love the show. I want to do a commercial for you guys. So I met with him. We shot a couple commercial things for Digg Nation, which sort of are on the internet, and they're very funny. I haven't watched them in ages. I should go back and watch them. And then we met this guy, Jeff Kanata, and we all just sort of were like, why are we not doing a show together? Like, we all like the same stuff. We all like video games and TV shows and movies, and Dan's a big movie nut, and Jeff is a big video game nut, and I'm a TV nut like crazy. So we were like, why don't we do a show where Dan's the movie guy, and I'm the TV guy, and Jeff's the video game guy, and we talk about all this shit. And we were like, yeah, what should we call it? And we were like, the Totally Rad Show? Because everything that we do is totally rad. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
And so we did that, and we did that for 5.5 years. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that we did any of this stuff for as long as we did, but, it's kind of crazy and fun.
So you've been
doing
quite
a few questions. Oh, sorry, you go, Ziana.
Oh, I was just going to say, you've been doing podcasts kind of since the beginning. Like, how do you think they've changed, like, from then until now?
Well, there's way less a barrier to entry, right? So, like, the biggest thing is that anybody can have a podcast. So a couple things. When we first started doing podcasts, 1, there was no YouTube. It did not exist. 2, you had to pay for your own bandwidth. So there was no place where you could put a file and then people could download it, and nobody got charged for that. So we were constantly running up against the wall of it actually cost us money to deliver this product to people. And, really good examples. A buddy of mine named Liam Lynch had this freaking amazing podcast called Lynchland. If you ever get a chance, go on YouTube and search for Lynchland. It will blow your mind. And he did it all in his freaking garage. But when I started talking to him about it, he was like, "Yeah, it sucks. I'm paying like $5,000 out of pocket a month to continue getting people the show. Like, it's not like anybody can have a show. It's like, yeah, you can have a show if you can pay to give it to people. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a big change. But also cameras, you know what I mean? Like, we're doing this on webcams, and so people are making podcasts on their freaking phones in their pockets. Like, none of that shit existed. You needed to buy a $2,000 camera and a $3,000 computer to edit the video or make it into a video that was deliverable. You know what I mean? Right. So, and I'm, not like I feel like I'm starting to do the old, like, we had to walk 10 miles in the snow to get to school, you and your automobiles. You don't know how good you got it with your cars, your technology. But yeah, so that's a big difference. What was that?
You filmed it in your garage, right?
We did. Well, we filmed Dignation on my couch for the first couple months, and then we filmed it on alternating couches in different alternating living rooms. And then with the Totally Rad Show, basically it was like couch surfing.
Right.
And then with the Totally Rad Show, we were like, we need to do we need to have higher graphics quality. Like, I think we were like, this is all going to be HD, 16:9, crazy. You know what I mean? And then I don't know why we came up with the idea of doing it all on a green screen, because that was the other thing. People weren't able to do green screen stuff that easily because it's not like in iMovie where you just go, there's a green screen, and it goes, okay, the green screen's gone. What do you want in the background? It's like, it wasn't like that, So, so we were like, let's do a green screen show. It'll be cool. We'll have fake backgrounds and virtual sets and blah. And then we ended up creating. At first, it was my buddy Steve's garage, the first shooter editor guy, and then when it moved from him to our new guy Mike Gaines, which is really funny because Mike Gaines actually did more shows overall than Steve, but he still feels like the new Steve, even though he's amazing. We moved it into my garage, so I actually have like a green screen studio in my garage that is now back to being a garage with a green wall.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting to know that. This is the thing, though. We have to be self-sufficient in this place. Yeah. Like, I've got the same thing in my living room. I've got a pull-down color sheet with 2 lights and a camera there to do a show. Is this the sort of advice that you would give for someone that, yes, everything's so accessible now, but what do you have to commit to actually have a good studio or a show or podcast or vidcast?
I think for me, the thing that is the most important with anything like this is scheduling, right? And that sounds stupid. Nobody wants to do it. It's like, you have to have a regular schedule. Otherwise, people are not going to be able to come to you. First off, whenever I started a show, I had to have a logo, a title, a theme song, and an intro. Right? Mm-hmm. So it was like and it had to be consistent intro. Hello and welcome to Dignation. I'm Alex Albrecht. Hello and welcome to the Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex. There had to be some consistency, and it came out every single week. It came out the exact same time, date, and time. I mean, shit gets fucked up, and you don't, sometimes it doesn't. But that to me was always sort of like, we're a TV show, and if we're a TV show, we have to have consistency, because then people can start relying on that consistency. You know what I mean? Like, Tuesday night, they're going to get an episode of TRS, and they're super excited. You know what I mean? So I'd say that over production value, in my opinion, it's consistency. And nowadays, it depends upon also where you want to be. Like, if you're doing an hour show like this frickin' Google Hangout thing is perfect. Yeah. Live streaming it is a great idea. YouTube, an hour-long YouTube video, I mean, it's okay, but that's not really the place it should live. You know what I mean? If you wanted to do YouTube stuff, then you're in 6 to 7 minute clump vibe. Like, that's shoot for that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. If anyone else is watching this with questions of their own, please comment in the box below while we've got Alex, because this is what they called free
This is
lunch.
fantastic
And
advice,
usually
my God.
there's no such thing as a free lunch, so take advantage of this one, I say. I want to kind of move the conversation along because you'd mentioned World of Warcraft right at the beginning, and Ziana did her happy dance, and we are all really, really keen to know. You did a podcast, a vidcast series from this as well called Project Lore. When you start playing World of Warcraft, what's your favorite character? Why are you obsessed, and do you still play it?
Wow. First off, good string of questions. I would say I think I got into World of Warcraft. Well, first off, I played it at launch and did not love. I have a feeling it's because I played with Kevin, my Dignation buddy.
Oh, yeah.
He was not consistent enough for me. So, but then I got really into So like it launched and I got really into Star Wars Galaxies, which is a big old school MMO. Like super into it with my buddy Joshua.
Okay. Role-playing into it or just playing?
Probably just playing. But that said, it was like the first game that I would think about right before I went to bed. I would be on a trip and I would have my laptop looking at the forums and I'd be like, oh my God, when I get back I'm going to try this build. This is crazy.
Right.
Dreams about being a Carboneer and getting a Rancor pet. It was the first these could be bad for me. And I'm going to still do that. It was my first taste of the dragon, so to speak. So anywho, we kind of fell out of love. Basically, me and a couple friends got to a point where, you know, you get to that point where you're like, we need a game. We haven't had a game in a while. What's going to be our new game?
Right.
Sort of how I felt about collecting toys when I was a kid. I was like, I've got all the Skyhawks. Or the Silverhawks. What do I do? Oh, Sky Commanders. All right, I'll get all those.
Sorry, continue.
What's happening?
Looking at Maude struggling to pop the cap on.
Round two, motherfuckers.
Well, first off, I just brought the bottle. That's how I rock. I'm like, forget it. This is just a delivery device.
There's no straw in that bottle. Where's the straw?
Yeah, I know. How great would it be if I was like, anyway. Yeah, so then I was playing World of Warcraft for the first time, and this night so anyway, so my buddies and I were like, we need a game, and I had literally received a 30-day, this is back when that's how you got the trials. I think I was at some convention or somewhere, maybe E3, and I got a swag bag, and I had a 15-day or 10-day free trial for World of Warcraft. And Burning Crusades had just come out, I think. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, let's give this a try. And then we frickin' fell in love with it. I mean, just fell in love with it.
Burning Crusade was the best expansion, so...
Interesting choice.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I have to say, as much as I didn't like pandas when I played the beta, I then fell in love with pandas.
Okay.
But it's a little childishy, so I'm excited. I actually liked Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King was when we were doing Project Lore. It was Wrath of the Lich King time, so I did dig it.
Ice Citadel was the best raid in Wrath of the Lich King. The rest were terrible. That was
Well, and to be honest, I've missed Karazhan forever. Karazhan was my favorite.
They're reintroducing it in Warlords, you know.
Yeah, all right. I mean, will it be the same? Probably not.
Probably not.
Anyway, favorite characters, very hard. I have a 90 Druid, Hunter, Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
What class? I mean, what race?
My Rogue is a Night Elf, my Druid is a Night Elf, and my Hunter is a Night Elf. So I think I like Night Elves.
I'm a Night Elf too! Night Elf Hunter.
Bam! Oh, and I have a 90 Undead Mage. That was the other thing.
Oh man, I tried an Undead Mage. So what I would do is start every single race to level 10. So I tried different class every time, and I had an Undead Mage. I couldn't stand it. I didn't like the tall. Nah. And I love my
casting things look stupid. They're like.
Oh yeah.
When they cast, they look really dumb.
Twang. Yeah. The night elf mages and the troll mages look like idiots. It's like, why are you wearing a dress?
Yeah.
The Blood Elf. I didn't mind the Blood Elf when that one came out. What expansion was that one?
That was Burning Crusades.
Yeah, I actually really did mind the Blood Elf.
Warcraft trivia off between me and Alex.
Boom, 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 boom.
Well, I played
Valerian is the leader of the druids.
So. I'm actually wearing a Warcraft top right now.
You're wearing a Warcraft top right now?
Yeah, it's
amazing.
got all Lords of Draenor, and it's got the Shattered Hand on the wrong side, on that side.
Are those Firefly tight pants you're wearing?
No, they're the One Ring!
Oh my god, I thought that was Firefly. I was like, that's amazing!
No, it does kind of look like that, though.
You can't take my tots from me!
Yeah, by the way, I love me some Joss Whedon, but that theme song, I was like...
I didn't like it either. I love everything about Firefly, but every time I hear a slide guitar going off, bow, 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 I was like, stop.
Take my love, take me down, take me down, another town. And by the way, I always think it's Shepherd Book singing that at the beginning, because I'm always like, it sounds kind of like Shepherd Book, which would be awesome, but of course it ended, so we never know.
Well, I want to kind of get to know the geek side of you. So this is where we kind of ask the question.
I've clearly been non-geeky so far.
Yeah.
Pretty stock standard mediocre.
Yeah.
Got your WoW side. You were talking before about you loved television, and TV was your niche and what you loved about it. So name me sort of 3 series that you recommend other people get into that changed your life.
Whoa. First off, way too big a question.
3. I gave you 3 though. I gave you 3.
Okay. Well, first off, I'll throw one out there that I think is one of the best series. I mean, it kind of gets a little weird at the end, but it's
Battlestar Galactica.
Creep factor. No, I love me some Battlestar, but that wouldn't even be on my list because I got weird stuff. The Returned, but the French version of The Returned.
You really are a TV buff.
Everybody's like crickets. So do you guys remember the movie, the Swedish or Norwegian movie or Finnish something like that called Let Me In?
Yeah.
Or Let the Right One In.
Yeah, Let the Right One In.
I was like, are those crickets?
Yeah.
First off, if you haven't seen the Let the Right One In, the non-American version called Let Me In. Let Me In was good with Chloe Moretz, and she's a young vampire girl or whatever. But the foreign version, Let the Right One In, is fantastic and creepy.
Isn't that just effed up? I've heard about this. I'm on the page now.
I've heard about it too.
It's fantastic. It's like weird, creepy, slow burn foreign mountain town, creepy children. Well, so The Returned is about a group of people that have all died that just suddenly come back.
Aren't they making a TV show about that right now?
They are. I mean, it may be good, but whenever America makes a version of a foreign TV show, it's never as good as the original.
It's the girl from Catelyn Stark from Game of Thrones, isn't it?
Maybe it'll be all right.
Can't remember the name, but yeah.
So yeah, and that's probably called The Returned.
I think it might be.
Yeah. So it's called Le Revenant, or Le Revenant, something like that is what it's called. It's the French version. But they literally, first off, Mogwai is the guy that does the music for it, which is fantastically creepy. It's just fucking creepy. And so it's like this French mountain town, and these people show back up, but they don't know that they were dead. They just appear back. Right. And there's like the main stories about this little girl that returns to her family, and they're all like, the fuck is this girl doing? She's been dead for 5 years. What the fuck? And it just gets creepier and creepier. It's so good. So that's one. I think one of the other ones that was a BBC show that a lot of people missed was called Ripper Street.
Oh, I love that!
Yes!
Oh my
thank
God.
you.
It's got Mr. Darcy in it, the new Mr. Darcy.
Yeah, it's got the new Mr. Darcy and the guy from Game of Thrones.
That's a great show. Honestly, that was so underrated. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I know. Fantastic. And it was just like, I mean, it's great. And I think the biggest problem is because it was called Ripper Street, most people were like, well, I don't want to watch a TV show about Jack the Ripper. It's not about Jack the Ripper.
No,
it's just in that time. And I was like, They made a mistake.
I had a chat with the Game of Thrones guy when he was in Supernova Brisbane last year, and he said that he actually only agreed to do Ripper Street because what's his name? The Mr. Darcy, the main guy. Matthew something?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. He only agreed to do that show because he was in it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have considered it. Yeah, and that's what brought all these like really excellent actors into the show.
And the American actor in that is fucking fantastic.
Oh my god, he's so great. What's his name? Hannibal? No. Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah,
great.
We have. If only we had computers in front of us where we could.
Yeah. He's great. I've been telling everybody they need to watch it because it's when America was not the superpower, etc., that it is today.
At all.
So Americans were like, you know.
Yeah, it was like they were like
where you came from.
Yeah, they were like the idiot kids that were running around in the new country.
Yeah.
So those are two. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, there's so many shows that I like. I don't know about Change My Life. I mean, if we're gonna go Change My Life, it's got to be Family Ties.
Nice.
From the 80s. Yeah. I mean, that Alex P. Keaton, Alex J. Albrecht. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely was like a Michael J. Fox guy, and that was one of those shows that we like as a family. Like, I mean, it's so cheesy, but literally, like as a family, we would all sit down and watch Family Ties, and it was like weird that actually happened. I'm sure none of that happens now. It's like they all sit down as a family and watch Walking Dead, and they are
as
safe from zombies.
I watched Full House with
yeah.
So that was my one. It's all good. What was the game that made you a gamer growing up? Or like something like the game where you're like, this is something I never want to grow out of.
Yeah, God, there's so many games from my past that I love. The first game that I was like, well, let me rephrase that. I love games, always loved them. Played all the NES games, and I had a Sega Master System. First off, I was always the guy that chose wrong. I was always like of my group of friends, I was the idiot that played Alex Kidd in Wonderland on the Sega Master System, and everybody else got it. Yeah, I know, but everybody got the NES, and I was like, NES is not going to be so successful. Who's this Mario guy? You know what I mean?
And I was like, isn't going to go anywhere at all.
Sonic the Hedgehog is going to rule the world. And then like my buddies got Super Nintendo, and I got the Sega Genesis, and I was like, Altered Beasts, I love it. But I think growing up, the first game that I had like a sort of crazy experience with was Myst. I don't know if you guys remember Myst.
All I can think of is the movie.
Not the movie.
The horror game still though.
Yeah, Myst. It was like this weird, esoteric. It was first person, but it was first person pictures. So like at the time, the first person stuff was like Doom and Quake, and it was like really blocky. And then what they did was they actually took they made photorealistic renders, and you would click to move, and it would like just move to the next photorealistic render. So it felt like it was a game that you would play then, and you got the same experience as playing a game now on our now technology, right? Where you really felt like this is a world, I can experience it. And they would like animate certain things to make you really feel like it was a fully animated world, even though it was really a pre-rendered image, you know what I mean? Are you looking up Myst? Somebody is.
I've heard of it, actually.
So it's amazing. Anyway, it was a crazy experience, and it was one of those experiences that like I was home with a buddy of mine on the PC, yeah, and we literally like got all the Dr. Pepper and all the like chips we could, and sat in my room for like a full 24 hours.
Yeah, that's the
sleeping when we needed to, and then waking up halfway through and going like, oh, there's a button on the wall, and then running back to the computer and trying to find the button on the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we played through that game in one sort of 24-hour sitting, which was like the most. And I was like, oh yeah, this is something that you could never get from reading a book or being in a watching a movie with a friend or watching TV. Like this is a different kind of experience.
Yeah.
Myst.
I think it begs the question. We do play at Geek Bomb. We're becoming quite famous for it. It's a game called Power, and the acronym is PWR, and it stands for Playing, Watching, Reading. So we ask everyone every single week, especially the guests, what are you playing, watching, and reading currently right now? If you're watching this, we want to hear yours as well. We'll read them out.
Love it.
What
Who's going? Oh, am I going first?
You have to go first. Yeah.
I was like, damn. I was like, okay. I thought I would go. Okay. Playing is the P. I'm currently playing Destiny, which I believe everybody on the planet is playing.
Oh, I'm going to have to stop you there because we've already had a question come in from Jalen Brown who says, Alex, have you dived into Destiny yet?
I've divin right in.
What's Destiny? What is that?
So Destiny is Bungie's. Yeah, you may have heard it. It's sort of made $500 million in a day. I don't know.
It really make that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came second highest grossing game behind Grand Theft Auto 5 within the first 24
Grand Theft Auto 5 got $1 billion in 3 days, and I think that Destiny wanted $1 billion in a week. But you know what? They made $500 million in their first day. That just paid for the marketing budget.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I think it was the most expensive video game in the history of all video games.
Yeah.
I think it came in. Yeah, I think it cost about $500 million. So
they put 10 years of resources behind it, and hopefully it's going to keep on going for that entire 10 years that they've put all that money into it. So
no doubt.
So your thoughts on it?
So
that's a fence sit whenever I've heard one.
Yeah. Let me think.
Have a ponder.
Yeah. Right.
Sounds like from your WoW experiences, you need someone to be there with, to play with, like to.
Which, by the way, is great. Yeah, and which is great for Destiny. I've been playing it with 2 of my buddies. It doesn't feel super new. Like, I love the look of it. Like, it's PlayStation 4. I'm playing it on PlayStation 4. It's super sexy looking.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't feel super new. It feels a little like I've played this game 7 times in the last 7 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it feels
Halo,
It feels very Halo. And then the thing that I'm sort of this is the thing. It's not a great game, but I'm having a shit ton of fun playing it. Right?
Okay.
So it's
that's
like
a great game and a fun game.
It's super fun. Like I sit down and I'm like, I'm having fun when I'm playing this game. But then when I think about it, I'm like, how many times am I going to have my robot scanning something and waves of monsters come at me and I protect it? Because that's literally every mission I've played. You know what I mean? Like, it just and like, I was talking with my friend Jeff today, and he was like, it's funny. I'm trying to remember what game he was talking about, but he was like, this is supposed to be like all these expansive planets that you're exploring, and he was like, I don't feel like I'm exploring any of these planets. Like,
there's 5 planets, like that is it.
I've heard this as well. This is one of my things because I was saying that Destiny has pitched it to be like whatever kind of gameplay you enjoy, it will appeal to you and you can indulge in it. So when at the E3 presentation, it was like, do you like the PvP? Well, boom, you've got that. Do you like to play Quests with Friends? And you can do that. Are you an explorer? Good news, you can do that. And I've heard that's a rort.
Yeah,
the whole concept behind exploring is very minimal. Like, there's a single area that you can go and just casually walk around each of the individual planets. There are little missions that are scattered throughout, and there are also random events which just casually drop into the gameplay, which does make it interesting to some degree, but the chance of running into those events is very minimal. I have been hearing that apparently they are going to be, at some stage, expanding out past the planets that they have at the moment, hopefully. I know that yesterday actually they just released a new little storyline, and then there's going to be another one next month. So there's going to be releasing new storylines and stuff like that for the campaign. But yeah, like you said,
DLC keeps people interested though, because I feel like the game comes out, there's a month of hype, and then when they keep releasing DLC over the next 8 to 12 months, people have kind of moved on to the next thing.
Yeah, like the game, I agree with you, Alex. It's like you as the Guardian, you're the brawn, and your ghost is the brain. And it's like, I'm just going to sit here and run some decryptions and open up this door. Can you just kill everything that comes for the next 5 minutes? And that's your entire role? Like, that's been done so many times.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing, too, is it's not, it purports to be this sort of like MMO, which it's not. I mean, it's
not
yes,
at all.
there are other, like, you go down to the tower and you see other people running around. You're like, yeah, that's a hub. I wouldn't call this an MMO because I go. The other thing that blows my mind is you can only have 3 people with you at any given time. You can only have 3 people can do. I mean, there will be stuff I think later on that might have more than 3 people.
Yeah.
But how do you call yourself an MMO and you can only be grouped up with 3 people to run through the stuff? Like Gears of War co-op had more than 3 people. You know what I mean? Like the other thing too is, and again, I say this all with the top hat off too. I am enjoying myself when I play it. You know what I mean? Like
excellent game, so much fun.
So much fun to play with my buddies. But the other thing is the classes mean nothing. The classes are just they don't mean literally no different.
They don't do anything. There is no individuality between them whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like one guy throws a knife, the other guy jumps, the other guy throws a grenade. But guess what? You don't do that all the time. You do that once in a frickin' blue moon. So who cares? Everybody shoots the guns. They all use the same guns. They all kind of have the same armor class. So it's not like one person is heavier armor than the other person, really. So it's like they like tipped their toe into, we're going to be RPG. Oh, that's cold water. Pull your back out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Right. Because they make such a big fuss about the Titan, the Hunter, and the Warlock.
It's the only real difference between them is the skill tree, and that's it. And the skills aren't even really that variant that much. You've got a Warlock. You've got this Nova Blast, which is just a massive like black hole ore, which you shoot at enemies, disintegrates them. You've got the Titan, which has this like WWE fist into the ground, sends out a shockwave and kills everyone. And then you've got the Hunter, which has a flaming gun that you can like insta-kill people if you hit them in the head. And like the gear's the same, the guns are the same. There's no class-specific guns, no real specific. You know, the only difference between the armor is the look. They all do the exact same thing. They all have the same little perks that you can unlock on your armor, but there's no real variance between the characters at all.
Yeah, and it is fun to level your characters, but the problem is, and look, this has been a problem. This is the biggest problem in the gaming industry today, in my opinion. It's hype and expectation. You need to hype the shit out of your game. You need to say, our game is going to be, I mean, Watchdog is a perfect example. The most amazing game ever. You're going to be able to do all this crazy shit. And we are saying this because we desperately need you to want to buy this game. Yeah. And then when the game comes out, they were like, yeah, half that shit that we said we could do, we never actually got around to doing. So, but the game's cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a game, you know? So I think, and look, it's a fun game. It's going to make its money back. You know, am I going to be playing it in 2 weeks? Maybe not. The other game, this is literally just my pee.
Right.
The first pee of the day. I have kidney issues.
God.
The second.
Alcohol's gonna help that.
Yeah, right. The second thing that I'm playing today, I'm loving the Heroes of the Storm Alpha.
Oh yeah, I haven't played that yet. I really want to.
It's really, really fun. That's like, if I'm not playing Destiny, I'm playing that. Watching. I'm trying to think if I should be honest or entertaining.
Give us your entertaining one and give us the guilty pleasure one.
Well, my guilty pleasure one is
Jesus, Maude.
Yeah, Bering Sea Gold Under the Ice.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Yeah, either that or Discovery.
Discovery, whatever, yeah.
Or History Channel, some fucking channel.
Whatever.
One of those interchangeable, non-denominational deep cable channels. Yeah, love me some Bering Sea Gold. I don't know why, but it's like, I love the concept of like, you go out into the wilderness, you almost kill yourself, but you get some gold. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like, fuck yeah. Like, my hands go, I go scuba diving under ice, which is deadly in general, and I fucking vacuum up some rocks, and then I clean them off, and shit, I made some money. And the money's actually not bad.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So there's some enticement there, sort of animalistically.
I am a man type.
I am a man. I'm in the wilderness, and I find money here.
I will never do it myself, but I find pleasure in watching other people do it.
By the way, that
Oh.
could be every reality show I've ever seen.
Yeah, right.
Appeal to me. It's like I could totally do that.
But I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go use my nice toilet paper. By the way,
reply. Ooh.
yeah, those stupid Alaskans. By the way, I love Alaska. Love Alaska. In case people are watching that are from Alaska, love it. Salmon.
We all like salmon.
We all love salmon, just like bears. But the other one that's perfect for that is Naked and Afraid. Have you guys seen Naked and Afraid?
Yeah, I have. Third.
Dude.
I can't say I have, no.
I interviewed Amy Paffrath. I can't say her name either. I just can't say people's names. Amy Paffrath, who interviewed it. She came on the show and we had a big chat about it. Yeah, the concept is basically contestants that are at the end of the kind of the tether with trying to find love. So they go on a deserted island, or like a beautiful tropical island, I should say, and they date people in the mud.
What?
It's more like Survivor. Are you thinking of dating naked?
I think she is thinking dating naked.
I think you're thinking of dating naked. Naked and Afraid is like a survival show.
Oh, Naked and Afraid. That's right. Two people are lying in Survivor, but they've got no clothes on.
Yeah.
It's holy shit. They are on the deserted island, and it's like you are down on your luck. You have to, figure out how to live for yourself. By the way, no clothes. So when they bend over.
Yeah.
And
and everybody sees everything. It's horrible.
Everybody want to see that?
No. First off,
winter? Gosh.
yeah, it's not like models or it's survivalists that are going on the show. But the other thing that's crazy about that show is a lot of people get medically evac'd and almost die. Like it's
3 months in hospital.
Oh God, yeah, no. Yeah. This one guy got like a foot. He like stepped on a thorn, and then his foot just kept festering, and it looked like horrible. It was like 3 weeks in, and it was like just disgusting. And they went and they freaking like cut into it and got all this pus out, and it was the most amazing thing ever.
I feel like that would be really
awesome.
satisfying, but disgusting. I'm someone who has to I like to squeeze things.
Yes.
Like if there's something, I'm like, yes, get it out. But I feel like that would be equal parts.
Oh man, that is concerning.
But also equal parts like really satisfying.
Pleasure and pain.
By the way, we've all Googled the biggest pimple in the world YouTube clip where that chick.
Where they dig it out with the needle or whatever.
And
what?
It just keeps going. Have you not seen the biggest pimple in the world? I think there's like 2 med student girls cut into this guy's pimple.
Biggest pimple in the world. Okay.
Yeah. And she cuts it up. The worst part about it.
This is a bad idea, but I'm doing it.
She cuts it and it kind of goes. Bleh.
Hang on. Is it on his side?
The guy's
on his
got a beard
abdomen?
with his shirt off. No,
is it on his abdomen?
on the nape of his neck. No, it's down. It's here on him. It's right there.
Wait, where is it? Hold on. Let me go back to it. Where is it?
So it's like on the top of his spine kind of deal. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah, and then they not only so when they cut it open, it kind of explodes a little bit, and they're like, bleh. But the worst part is this girl goes, "Oh my god, that smells so bad!" And I'm like,
biggest pimple in the world. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, and apparently it's a cyst, and that's like a fatty deposit buildup, and she keeps squeezing it. No shit,
there's
she squeezes
so
it
many.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
I can't even.
She squeezes it for 4 minutes, and it's just like this wave of. It's like an.
First off, that guy is like so weirdly old and just like, hey, so I guess I should have been dealing with this.
All right, I'm gonna have to find it.
I love this stuff. This is great.
But Alex, so if that was, are those your like guilty
disgusting.
pleasures? Are those your guilty pleasure TV shows, or like something else that you're watching?
Yeah. Well, first off, I gotta kind of get my head around the fact that I just saw that.
Is that the right one that he linked, Maude?
Hold on. I'm
chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I'm watching it over and over and over again. This is great.
What?
This is my undergraduate degree. This is like everything that I've done.
It's disgusting. It's like this old dude that's just sort of standing there.
Oh no!
No! That's not it. But that's so gross.
That's not it.
I've got
I want to puke.
Okay.
I know, it's just bad that at a certain point it looks like the top of a cauliflower. It's like, oh.
All right, I'm actually going to link it to everyone watching because everyone will be watching goes, what the hell are you talking about? So I'm linking it in the chat first for you guys to watch.
Okay.
Oh, God.
The biggest pimple
That's pretty cute.
What did you guys do on your stream today? Oh, we watched pimple popping videos.
Oh my God, this isn't pimple. This is like a
This is how we treat our guests.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry for doing this. I've just sent it in chat.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm opening it now. Oh my God.
I wish I could screen share.
By the way, is anybody watching it without audio? Because that's how I watch it.
I'm going to screen share it for everyone. I want to try.
I'm watching it now.
I'm watching it without audio just so that I don't have to.
Oh my God, he's like passed out.
Oh yeah, it's not that big. First off, by the way, the one I shared is the biggest pimple in the world.
Okay. This is horrible quality though.
If I am screen sharing, I'm so sorry because I'm putting it up and I can't.
Oh, there we go.
Is it on the God, Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh God, when it explodes.
Oh guys, I don't know why we're doing this.
I'm turning that off. No, don't screen share it. Don't screen share it.
Guys, I can't do this.
That's not even that bad. What are you guys talking about?
Wait, when she squeezes it, because she's like, oh my God, it stinks. That's the worst part for me. She goes, oh my God, it stinks. So she's going to clean it up and she's going to start squeezing it. Look how much comes out. Are you ready?
Oh no.
Look at this.
That is ridiculous.
The one that I've just
sent
you is even worse. The one I've sent you just then is even worse than that.
I'm not looking at this. Wait, first off, by the way, how is this part of my power?
Yeah, this is not okay. Okay.
I'm watching the one you linked.
All right, we're back. I think I've got my makeup running on my face.
For a little bit.
All right, I think we're up to reading. We're up to reading. No.
Go to 15 seconds. Sorry.
Don't watch it, Maude. I nearly puked just then, and I have a really strong stomach.
No, don't do it.
I felt the wrench.
I like that Maude's like, I'm going to watch it. Forget you.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm absolutely not going to watch it.
Oh, good. Smart. That's much smarter.
Your last one of your power is R, reading. What are you reading right now?
So the funny thing is, I haven't started this, but I got this. I don't know if you guys were looking at my Twitter, but I got this weird puzzle box thing in the mail.
Sorry.
Did you watch it?
Did
you just watch it?
No.
So I got this weird.
Drinking beer.
So I got this weird puzzle boxy thing in the mail, which I still, by the way, cannot. I can get that far into it, and then I can't.
I love those things.
I can't stand.
Well, do you know how this thing works? I can't.
No,
I literally
can't
get it.
Things like that.
Oh God damn it! So anyway, then I get this in the mail and realize it's for the release of a new book called Endgame.
Oh, cool.
And I haven't read it, but this is not out yet. And so I feel like, because I'm a big Hunger Games fan, and you know what I mean? Like, and it's very.
First book was the best. The third one's terrible, and I'm really upset that they split it into 2 movies.
I only I only read the first book, started reading the second, couldn't get into it. I'm recording the second movie right now.
You'll enjoy it. It's actually still very good.
Yeah. The second, I thought Catching Fire was definitely the best.
Catching Fire. This book, I don't know much about it, but it's not out yet. So I feel like I have a chance. I think it comes out in October. So I feel like I have a chance to be like the guy who's like, oh yeah, that book, I totally read Endgame. Come on, Endgame: The Calling. I read that before it was even out. So I'm super excited and starting this tomorrow.
Okay, awesome, lovely.
Trendsetter.
Alrighty, so Maddie, Nate, I'll start with you, Maddie, in considerably less time and punch it quite through actually.
Okay,
what's your power?
Alright, well you already know what I'm playing. Obviously I'm playing World of Warcraft Mr. Pandaria. I'm also playing the World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor beta as well.
Yay!
Nice.
Just want to get us betas for that.
We got some beta keys from the cinematic event that me and Maude went to. What am I watching? I just finished watching The Quest. I'm still going to plug that show because it honestly was the best. I just interviewed 2 of the contestants yesterday. Amazing. Really, honestly, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's like Amazing Race, Survivor meets Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons. Honestly, so great.
That sounds cool.
It is really cool. It's free to air on ABC, so you can just watch it on your cable, or watch it on abc.com. Anyway, reading. Oh my god. I was reading this thing on my phone. I've been actually reading like. Oh god, this is embarrassing. I've been reading some like fan fiction.
Go on.
Oh, go. Keep going.
Supernatural Vampire Diaries crossover fan fiction?
No! Harry Potter fan fiction.
Harry Potter?
What?
Harry Potter fan fiction.
What?
Someone find the snitch?
It's not that. Okay, it is that kind of.
Want to have a jump on my broomstick?
Oh my god.
By the way,
Harry Potter, is that your wand? Yes, it's my wand. Bad wand. Bad wand.
Yeah. It's bent like Ron's. No, but
Gryffindor.
you should make
Gryffindor.
you should make that shirt. Want a hop on my broomstick?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Disgusting.
I'm sorry.
What is happening?
So, tell us how you stumbled across Harry Potter fan fiction.
Well, she went to Google.
No, I used to read it a lot when I was younger. Like when I was a teenager, I was really into reading it and writing it. And so then,
You've got to link us this. Where is
the
it?
answer is no. You will never find it because it was under a pseudonym that you will never know.
Actually,
Okay, alright.
It's
Next
not
week,
safe for
tune
work
in.
fan fiction.
and Ziana will be doing a live reading session.
Oh my god, that would be
Yeah,
amazing.
we have to make it 18 and over because I wrote that kind of fan fiction.
Yeah.
Oh my
yes.
god!
Oh man, private Geek Bomb event. This is awesome.
Moving on. So I just decided to go back and be like, oh, I wonder if I'll still enjoy it as an adult as I did when I was a teenager. I do.
And you're
Yeah,
like,
you do.
I enjoy it more, surprisingly.
But I'm more conscious of the hideous writing of all the teenagers who are writing it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm less forgiving than I was back then. So if I like notice a spelling mistake in the first paragraph, I'm like, nah, next.
Next.
Yeah.
This Harry Potter sexual fan fiction is not of my quality.
It doesn't.
Next,
Harry's
please.
not in it. Harry's not in it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Harry Potter
Oh, is
universe.
it Ron? Is it Ron and Hermione?
No.
Who is it?
Who is
I'm
it?
not telling you.
Is it Tom Riddle and his fiddle diddle?
No.
Holy shit.
It's the last person you would expect.
Hagrid.
Oh.
Snape.
McGonagall.
It's Snape?
Snape. Yeah.
Oh,
I like
my
Snape.
Oh,
Snape.
Snape for Snape. I'm sorry, Mom.
Well, first off, I mean, Alan Rickman, come on. That you can't. Everybody has a thing for that guy.
Maud's face. Oh God, I'm a lobster right now. Thanks.
His face. I'm so sorry, but this is incredible. This is the most fantastic thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's the only face I can do right now.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Why did I admit this on air? So moving on, Nate, what's your
This is
power?
one of the best episodes we've ever done, and we have hit our hour. Quickly hit us home with power. I'm going to read out some comments after, so really quickly.
Okay, I am playing Destiny, of course, as well as trying to get back into Dragon's Dogma that I've been AFK from because I've just moved. I am still watching Naruto religiously, and in a week's time I'm on school holidays, and I'm going to be hopefully getting the cursed seal Naruto tattoo on my back, so stock standard.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to reach up maybe the side of my neck, down the chest, around the back, and over the ribs a little bit.
That's huge.
Yeah, well, size doesn't matter. But because I wear a collared shirt for work, I can't have any tats exposed when I'm at school. So I have to try and keep it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And reading, I'm still reading
Textbooks.
Naruto manga and textbooks. Yeah, there's my textbooks there. They're lots of fun to read. But
Alex,
yeah, Naruto manga.
Nate's a high
Naruto
school
manga
science
is coming
teacher.
almost done.
He's a high school what teacher?
I'm a
Science
high
and
school
math.
science math teacher.
Science
I'm
math.
going-
I've never heard of
How old are you,
science
Nate,
math.
The math behind science and the science behind math.
Oh.
Yeah.
It does 2 classes. My power, really quickly, is oh my god, this is. I told you I was doing a Star Wars podcast, so this is a little bit ridiculous. I am playing Star Wars Commander on iOS. I am watching the whole movies again. So I did the prequels last weekend. I'm going to do the original trilogy this weekend, and I'm reading A New Dawn, which is the first book that's been written that is canon, official. It's called A New Dawn, and it's with Kanan. So Kanan in canon. Ugh. Anyway, I've got to get through that one. So I'm going to enjoy all that.
Kanan and canon, amazing.
Did you know I heard that Keira Knightley was one of the Queen's handmaiden people?
No. So when Padme was as the handmaiden and the person was talking as the queen, that's Keira Knightley. And in the second movie, it's Rose Byrne as the right-hand handmaiden. Yeah.
Really?
That's so great. I had no idea.
Another handmaiden was Sofia Coppola.
Yeah, I did hear about Sofia Coppola. I didn't know about Rose Byrne or anything like that, though. Wow. Yeah, I only just found out that Keira Knightley thing recently. I was like, was this before she was famous? Must be, I guess.
It's if you put on face paint and you talk like this, anyone could be Queen Amidala, trust me. I'm going to go through the questions really quickly and comments. We've got Alexander that says hot. I'm guessing that's the Snape fan fiction. J588 says, be right back, going to find Maddie's fan fiction.
Oh my god.
I'm currently looking for it right now as well.
You'll never find it. You will never find it. Honestly,
Shane
Ashby never find it.
Says, just finished the quest. What an awesome show. J588 again says, clearly none of you have ever been to /r/popping. I'm guessing that's a series of videos.
A Reddit popping thing?
That's Reddit popping? Yeah. I don't want to go to Reddit popping.
No.
Neither do I.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way.
Stardust says, you know what, to you, Alex, Les Revenants, is that it? Les Revenants is amazing. Revenant is amazing.
Yep.
Not
totally
sure
agree.
what direction season 2 will go in, though.
I don't know either. It got a little weird. But
she's a big fan. Sandy Young says there's one of those cyst videos where it looks like cottage cheese is coming out of the old guy's back. So wrong.
That's the one. I think that's the one I shared.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that one.
Welcome, everybody.
Shane Ashby says botfly extractions are gross too.
I love botfly extractions are the best.
What are they? What is that?
They're little they're basically like little maggots that get into your. Oh yeah, type in botfly extractions.
It's a species of insects which plants its eggs underneath the flesh of living animals, and then they hatch out.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Carlo's power is Destiny, NFL football, and a bunch of heavy university textbooks. Tom Byrne has said he's playing Sid Meier's Civ 5, watching Stargate because it's always on TV, reading Dune. Shane Ashby is playing Command & Conquer 0 Hour, watching The Quest, reading Louder Than Hell, which is a heavy metal through the ages book.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And I'm going to finish it off with this question. It's from Ryan Fox. He says, Alex, I'm curious to know your thoughts on Twitch. Would you ever do a show on it?
It's funny. I have attempted to do some Twitch gaming. It's quite hard to set up, which is weird. And two, we didn't really cover this, but I'm launching a social network for MMO and MOBA players in a week.
Please tell us about that.
Yeah, please tell us more.
Sorry, yes. No, it's called Zerg ID, and it's going to be launching in about a week. And we have a sort of boutique MCN, sort of like Maker Studios or Machinima, for Twitch gamers. So we're going to be doing a lot of work with Twitch gamers, and my CEO has told me that I'm going to be brought into some Twitch gaming myself. So I will definitely be streaming some Twitch stuff.
Sweet, nice.
Probably Heroes of the Storm, just you know what I'm saying?
That's what you're into.
Because that's what I'm into, and I'm not good at it, so you'll hear a lot of cursing from me.
So,
yeah.
That's the fun of Twitch, though.
It is.
Fantastic. So John Carter did ask when it's coming out. Do you have a specific date for that one?
Which for the Zerg ID launch?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed the end of next week.
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, worst case scenario, maybe not next Monday, but the Monday after, the 23rd or something.
22nd. Yeah.
22nd, yeah. It's going to be fun.
Plug on this one. Where can we find more information about it? Have you got social medias? Are there Twitter accounts? What can we do?
Yeah, so zergid.com, zergid.com. You can sign up there, and as soon as we launch, we're going to be emailing everybody that signs up, sort of saying, we've launched, finally, come in. And then you can follow us on Twitter, even though nobody has tweeted from it yet because it's not a thing, at ZergID. You can like us on Facebook, which I think is facebook.com/ZergID. Not sure if that's even a thing, but because I didn't set up any of that stuff. ZergID. But it looks like that's some sort of weird Russian person's site, so don't worry about that. Anywho. So, yeah, so that's sort of the best place to keep up with all that.
What about your personal social media?
I'm at Alex Albrecht because I like to keep it simple. Also, I didn't realize I'd still be on Twitter when I signed up to it, so it was the easiest thing to do. And that's kind of the best place to keep up with me because when I'm doing stuff, I'm actually just finishing post on a short film that I directed for Roddenberry Entertainment, so that's going to be coming out. Yeah. Yes. A very interesting
Tell us more
guy.
about that
Yeah, it's a cool sci-fi sort of like, sort of sci-fi drama thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but we're going to be going out to the film festivals pretty soon.
Nice.
Yeah, which we're excited about, and then, I mean, knock on wood, hopefully we get into them. And then, but we're actually going to be doing a convention thing with it because it's Roddenberry and they do a lot of convention stuff. So we're going to do, and it's got super cast. It's like Phil Morris and Manu Intiraymi from Voyager and Tyler Hilton, who's on Extant right now, and a bunch of people. So we're going to hopefully do the sort of like convention circuit so we can bring it to show fans and talk about it and stuff like that. So that's cool. And then working on another short, which is super top secret, whatever.
All right, there you go, Jalen Brown. We answered your question as well. Snuck right in with not only the secretive answer, but answering that question. We're going to have to wrap things up because it has been an extra long session.
So
it was a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
This was one of the best ones, actually. It's one of people's, Maddie's fan fiction. It's all come out. It's been amazing. Don't forget, though, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, guess what? We hit 3,000, which may not be a lot of time, but it took us forever to get back. So we're excited to get to 5 next. Yeah. And also share the video, comment. You can find us at Geek Bombshells, facebook.com/Geek Bomb, and we're on Instagram as well. Just search Geek Bomb. This has been Geek Bomb and crew.
The
bomb has been dropped.
The bomb has been dropped.
Thank you.
Now that I have to say that now.
Yeah.